I keep personally reflecting because of the anti-racist theater training that I went to a couple weeks ago, where she said, where are you? Like, I want you to sit here and think about, where are your practices racist? And she said, I'm not talking about the organizations you're affiliated with. I'm not talking about the other people that you've seen be, I'm talking about you. Like, what have you done that is racist, and where can you improve it? And sorry, Dad, if you're actually listening, I know I can see that you're there. But my dad and I had a long, I hope he doesn't mind me outing this conversation. We had a long conversation this morning. It was really beautiful. And my dad is a strong Christian, and is what I think, and while I have fallen out with Christianity, I really respect his way of being Christian, which is that he leads with and there are many of my friends who are here right at this moment are Christian. He leads as a Christian with the idea that he is a sinner. And regardless of what he thinks of other people's sin, his first thing is, it's not between me and anybody else, it's between me and God. And I guess it's sort of, as I was explaining to him, that to me, I think of it in a similar way with racism. Like, if you are going to say to yourself, like, look, I'm a sinner, and that's where I'm starting from, like, what can I do better? Instead of saying, I'm a sinner, and that's why Veronica shouldn't be behaving this way, and that's why Mike shouldn't be behaving this way, and Matt needs to stop doing that. Like, it's not about the other people, it's about you. And so I guess, like I was talking to my dad about, like, we have to start from a place of being like, I'm a racist. And I don't mean it in the sense that, like, I'm not going to post on Facebook, hey, everybody, I'm racist, because that would be not understood to be what I mean. But we have a misconception in this country, where I've received a lot of emails in the last couple of weeks, once I was saying we were going to do this, where people specifically said to me, I'm not racist. I in no way condone racism, but I don't think what you're doing is appropriate. I don't think theater and politics should be associated, which is essentially saying, I'm racist. They're racist, because what they're saying is, when you're putting 6 people of color on a platform, you're doing something political. And I think it's problematic, regardless of your political alignment. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat, frankly. I'm going to talk to you either way, even in our current, like, super heated situation. I want to hear you. And so I wrote to this woman, these people who've been writing to me, I wrote to them and said, look, I get it, man. Like, I respect you not wanting to come, and I would, far be it for me to ever force you to go anywhere. Like, don't come. But also, it is my position as a person that is an artist to not listen to you, and to not listen to, like, an 18-year-old Black kid. Like, it's my, like, obligation, the way that I feel as an artist, to say, like, I am a racist, I am a sinner. Like, where can I come from that place to, like, be better? Which is why I apologize for talking so much, because the whole fucking point is to hear what you guys have to say. But I think, like, being that example, like Matt is being, and like Michael was being, like, being that example of, like, yo, I'm trying to work this out and I'm gonna mess up, like, all the time, is really, really important.
Megan, can I say something real quick?
Please, this is my mom.
If indeed theater isn't the place for discussions about this, then where is the place? Because theater is where we learn about the world. Like, Shakespeare has lasted and has had this presence for hundreds of years, because he talks about the human condition, and we can all relate. The jealousy, the tyranny, the struggle of lovers, whatever it is, we learn about it by seeing these things. And not facing it or dealing with it in theater is just completely wrong. Like, I have cried at so many plays that to me have affected me so powerfully. And I have, as you know, I've been to Broadway 2 times, like 15 years ago, and then last October, and seen a few professional, Broadway productions. But I've seen productions here that move me to tears, like the Laramie Project, like, was unbelievable. Like, things that I've seen that are just beautiful and joyful and also thought-provoking. So if not theater, where would it ever happen? That's the perfect place for it. And for those discussions, that's where it belongs.
especially when, you know, again, like going back to this idea that our very presence is a political act. Us being in a specific space or us just existing, you know, is political, you know, or just the fact that Othello now, due to the demographic of the cast, is a Black play. But, you know, and just those kind of simple ideas, you know, where just due to the, I think just the dynamics that are created in the cast, it makes, it just changes and makes statements no matter what. I'm into politics. I love it. You got to, because we can't help it, man. We can't help it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's everywhere, right? And I think this is a conversation that is not just limited to theater, right? Like, there's a lot of this reckoning that's happening in all sorts of spheres right now. Like, the same thing's going on in sports. Like, I don't want politics in my sports. Well, listen, man, like, this is America, you know, like, this is where we are, you know, it's already there. This isn't new. This is just, it's being shown to your face and you're having to confront it and deal with it. And so these battles are going on all over the place right now in all sorts of different fields. And I feel like that's why I'm really hopeful that this moment that we're in, that we don't lose the momentum on it, you know, that the feelings that people are going through right now and the questions that they're asking within themselves and within the people around them, it's such a big opportunity to really like change the tide of this. And it's going to take all of us, you know, it's not going to take just the people who are oppressed or just the people who are offended by the people who are doing the oppressing. I mean, it's going to take everyone, and it's something that is going to just, it's going to take time, you know, like these things don't happen overnight, but we have to, you know, we have to be willing to to stay in for the long haul and put the time in. And, you know, having things like Othello and being able to do them in front of younger audiences and sort of having the baton be passed to them. I mean, they're the ones who are going to be in our position sooner than later, and making these decisions and trying to figure out the way forward. And so giving them this exposure and a lot of people are upset about what's happening right now, but for every tragedy, it's a golden opportunity, you know, and I just hope people don't take it for granted and stick with it.
I also just find it problematic that we use the word politics to always mean divisive. Like, speaking politically, A, shouldn't mean this person versus that person, and B, shouldn't mean talking about whether people are of value. I'm sorry, politics should not be, do I want to hear from this person? Does he have the right to exist? That's not a way, I'm sorry, that's just not the way it should be. And I'm really, really grateful that I have many Republican friends for whom that is not the way they function. But I think we tend, especially right now, as many of us being liberals, to heighten that divisive conversation, which is not helpful. Like, I want to hear what people have to say.